Hey guys, welcome to a very new and first thing for the Blue Collar Bourbon Dad. This is my brother-in-law Karl. He is the founder of Kowabunga Brewing and also works for another large brewing company, but also enjoys drinking whiskey just like I do.
You do?
Yeah, he does. So we have just thought to ourselves, we don't get a chance to get together very often, and we both like drinking whiskey. And I just got back from Kentucky, and I got all these wonderful different things for benchmark bourbon from Buffalo Trace Distilling. And we thought we would do a live blind taste test to see which one we like better and which one's worth the money. So as you can tell, we have everything right here. These were poured without our knowledge, and we are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And all of the answers of what it actually is on this piece of paper we'll reveal at the end of the tasting. So Karl and I are going to just have a little fun tasting. Now, I don't want to hear any comments about the acoustics. Karl's home is a little new. We haven't gotten any acoustical panels up. We have our microphone. We're doing the best we can. We're here to learn about bourbon, not complain about sound, all right? Just so we have everything right off the rip.
Yeah, I'm here to drink bourbon. So
yeah. You ready to drink some bourbons,
I'm ready
Karl?
to drink some bourbons.
All right, so we've got some pieces of papers and some tasting notes, and we're going to see what's going on first. So we're going to start with number 1 on our tasting boards, which will be right here.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Karl, usually here on the Blue Collar Bourbon Dad, I know you've watched 1 up to 3 of my videos. We try to take a little sniff and then taste and then kind of give some thoughts on what we're drinking here. And then we'll just kind of rank these as we go and see which one we like. So this is number 1. On the sniff, this smells pretty good, like a nice younger caramely bourbon. Oh, definitely has a good smell to it. I would drink this.
Yeah.
What do you think, buddy?
I think it's really smooth. Really smooth. Like you said, caramely. I was getting more floral notes on the nose, but definitely more sweet caramely goodness on the sip.
Yeah, it tastes a little young.
It doesn't seem that hot at all to me. It's just really smooth.
All right, don't finish it all yet, Karl. You can put it back. We'll finish this later.
Okay. All right.
So number 1 was good. We liked it. It's got a little bit of legs, but not a lot. You can kind of tell it's a younger bourbon, which most of these ones are, but that's okay. So smooth, good stuff. All right. Mm-hmm. Number 1, I like it. You can write any notes that you want to write.
Okay.
We'll move on to number 2. Number 2. All right, let's see who number 2 works for, Karl. Give yourself a little swig of water. We don't want to taint.
Yeah,
Number 2. All right, so while Karl sniffs this one, the expressions that we have for benchmark are foolproof, the original benchmark, the top floor, single barrel, and bonded. And I didn't get the small batch because, in the bourbon world, most of us aren't really big on small batch anyway, so I took a pass on that. But if these all end up tasting good, maybe I'll go back and grab one. Now this number 1's kind of lingering on me pretty good with a vanilla.
Straight vanilla and oak on this one.
Wait, number 2 or number 1?
Sorry, number 2.
Number 2.
The smell, it definitely smells hotter than the first one, so a little more boozy.
Yeah.
Seems like it tastes a little more boozy too.
I got a funny feeling that's going to be our foolproof at the end of the reveal.
If I were to guess, that's foolproof. Even on the nose, because it just smells like it's been sitting on oak a long time,
Yeah, but you know what? If that ends up being the foolproof, which
that's got to be foolproof.
Feel pretty good about it.
If it's not, it's... Let me see. Yeah.
We also have a single barrel in there too. But if that's the foolproof, it's surprisingly smooth. That's hitting at 125 proof though.
Yeah.
And for like $22.
Foolproof is definitely my guess on that one. It's also pretty smooth. A little hot. But,
I hope so.
If it's foolproof, that makes sense. Pretty boozy, but...
Well, we'll find out in a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one definitely...
Sweet, vanilla, oak, fairly smooth, not too hot.
But I think it's a lot less sweet than number 1 was. Like, that one definitely feels like it's got... I feel like it's not quite as sweet. It's got a little bit more of that oak versus, like, that super caramel punch you in the face, almost like a dessert bourbon. It almost feels like...
Yeah.
For lack of a better way of saying it, more of a regular bourbon. So
yeah, maybe less caramel, more vanilla on that one. but good.
Great. Number
I
two's
really
in the
like
past.
it.
Let's go to
Yeah,
number 3.
That one's really good.
Yeah. So I don't have a ranking on this yet. All right. Pick number 3. I know my handwriting is
This guy
horrible.
here. Okay,
Yep.
3. All right. How's that smell? Does it smell like bourbon?
Yeah.
This one's also pretty oaky, but it makes me think like, ooh, this one's pretty fiery.
It doesn't taste like it. I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's not bad. I want to say nutty. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
Boozy on the nose, but not on the sip. Oaky and nutty, I guess, is how I perceive that one a little more.
All right. So I like
okay.
this. I think this one, just looking at the glass, after taking a sip and checking it out, it seems like, once again, this one has a little bit more, like a little bit more to it, like a bit more body. So it's got a good flavor. I like it. Once again, it's got that nice smooth smell that we're both talking about. But I think this one also has that little less of a sweetness to it. So
Yeah.
I have this funny feeling that number 3 is probably going to be our single barrel expression. But we'll see. I still like it. So far, all 3, no losers yet. I would definitely, for under $25, buy all of the ones I've tried so far. But anyway, number 4. Number 3 is in the past until we dig it up in a minute. See, now this one on the nose has more of that honey kind of feel to it. More of that raw honey smell. And on the taste, too.
Yeah. It's not super sweet. It's a subtle sweetness on that one for me.
You know what this reminds me of is a little bit closer. Like, it still has like faint hints of that oak nut, all that, but it almost has a little bit of that earthy, almost kind of Rowan's, like the Willet expressions they have, like, you know, the Rowan's Creek and the Noah's Mill. It kind of has that earthness to it. I still like it.
Yeah.
It's not typically the way I would normally buy all my bourbons, like more of that sweet ride.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have a more refined palate than I do, so.
Is it maybe a little more spicy, you think?
I don't think spicy. There's definitely I don't feel a bite to it whatsoever, but it's definitely feel like it's more that earthy kind of feel to it. Good stuff. I like it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it was my favorite in this one just yet.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my favorite. 2 still has it for me. That one was...
All right. Still only 2. All right. Well, don't give it away yet, Karl. It's a teaser.
All right.
All right. You got to go to 5 first before we go to recap here and try to rank these. All right. You got to make people watch the rest of the video and think that we're mildly interesting to watch the rest of these. So.
Yeah.
All right. Number 5. I didn't give myself a huge pour on this.
Same.
Oh, well. What are you going to do?
Well, that one just smells like a barrel.
See, now this one doesn't taste bad, but after all the rest of the 5 of them, it kind of seems like it's the thinnest of all of them. It has like the least amount of body and kind of flavor to it.
That one seemed that, like, if I were to guess, that's just the youngest. What's that? The 80 proof, the youngest.
I don't remember. We have to look at the bottles in a minute, Karl.
but,
I don't think these things through before I put them online like
What do I
everybody
pay you
else.
for?
You don't pay me at all,
well.
but you should.
Yeah, if I were to guess, that would be the youngest one. It just has the least complexity. It just smells like it, like the oak barrel.
Okay. I feel you.
So, like, I guess I would just say super oaky, young. I mean, still smooth though, so it's I ain't mad at it.
So let's take a look at these. So we've got the Benchmark Full Proof, the Benchmark, the Top Floor, the Single Barrel, and the Bonded. So which one are we thinking here is number 1? Like our smooth caramely. We both like that one.
Yeah.
Which one do we think is number 1? If I had to guess, to be honest with you, I still think I would think the number 1 is probably.
I need to look at these again.
I would probably say our.
That's 100 proof and 95 proof, 86. What's that? The 80.
80.
And that's full proof. Okay.
So I would think number one feels to me the most like that 90, like the single barrel would be my guess.
Yeah.
I think that one's single barrel.
I would say, yeah, the single barrel as well.
All right, so we think number one is the single barrel. Okay. Number two, we're in agreement on this one, foolproof. Like, we feel pretty good.
Yeah,
foolproof.
I feel pretty good about that.
All right. Number three, what do you got?
So that one was like boozy, oaky, nutty for me. So that,
I feel
let me see the
bonded on
100
that one.
Bonded.
Yeah. That one's going to be for your age statement because it's bottled in bond, so has to age a little bit more. Good boozy flavor, but not overpowering.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of thinking that might be bonded. Pardon me.
You know. Yeah.
It's not a
I hate to kid. No,
wrong.
like I just don't want to keep agreeing with you, but like I agree that
it's okay.
You know, that's
it's all right. If we're both wrong, nobody cares. Like, nobody watches my videos anyway, so it's fine.
Yeah.
What do you think for number four?
This one top floor.
You think it's top floor?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to disagree with you. I think this one is probably going to end up being benchmark, but I'm going to guest of honor put this in order and go top floor, and then number five we're going to say is our regular benchmark.
Yeah.
I'm going to go the other way. I think these two are switched, but we can find out now. Raking them on taste, what was your favorite one?
2 by far.
2, you like the full
2
proof by
was
far?
just like it had a lot more going on.
I'm with you. Okay.
It was nice and sweet, not too sweet. A little bit boozy, but you know, I like a little bit of that warming effect. You know, I don't want it to be non-existent. But that vanilla was really nice too. You know, obviously still some caramel, but not as much as, you know, our first one.
Obviously.
But yeah, that, man.
All right. Yeah, I like number one. Number two is my favorite. I'm kind of lean towards the proof hound side of things. Like, I've got 3 kids. I've only got a limited amount of time to feel great about drinking a little bit of bourbon. So 125 over 100 or 95 all day. So yeah, I'm with you. I think number 2 is probably my favorite overall bourbon. Number 1 came in a close second for me. I really enjoyed it.
For sure.
But we should probably kind of figure out what we're dealing with here. So let's find out. The moment of truth. What did we decide is the best? So number 1 is actually our top floor.
Okay.
Okay, number 1,
So
top floor.
We thought, oh man. Okay.
So we did not see that coming. So top floor is actually number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2 was the foolproof.
Yeah.
So we were right on.
I feel like that.
That was single barrel. Sorry about that. Number 2 was definitely foolproof.
Yeah, that one was pretty obvious.
Which was amazing. Number 3 we both liked was the bottled in bond. All right.
That was right? That was the bond.
Yeah, bond we were actually right on.
Okay.
Number 4 was the single barrel. We were way off.
Oh,
So yeah, that one wasn't too bad, but just because it comes out of the single barrel doesn't mean it's the best tasting stuff.
Yeah, I get why they blend it, you know.
Yeah. And then number 5 was our original benchmark.
Okay.
So anything you were surprised by on that one?
I guess the single barrel threw me for a loop there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think when you think single barrel, you think it's supposed to automatically just be better.
Yeah, I don't know. But my hope for a single barrel is that they picked, really good barrels for it, and just release it as their single barrel. But I guess it could just be any random barrel.
It's true.
So
let that be a lesson to you bourbon guys out there. When you're waiting in line for 5 hours at your local shop and you want this newest single barrel, just because it says single barrel doesn't mean it's the best barrel. It just means it's a barrel.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm really surprised. That top floor tasted way better to me than I thought it would. I mean, foolproof, I hoped it just wasn't horrible, and it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
And I think all of these are under $25. So
yeah, I'm not mad at them for any of them for under $25.
No, I mean, I think these are all in like the mid to high teens. The foolproof was the one I think was like 20 or 21, and I believe, if I remember correctly, at Total Wine in Kentucky, everything else ranged from benchmark at around $11 a bottle, and I think the foolproof was the highest, around 22. Yeah. And then top floor bonded and single barrel all fell in that like 16 to 18 range, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
So.
which is cheap for how good it is. For that foolproof though, I would probably pay up to like, on a good day, I'd probably pay like $50 for that bottle. I feel like the quality is more like a $50 bottle.
I'm with you.
So I'm really happy with that one.
All right, there you have it, audience. You've got an actual alcoholic professional, not alcoholic, alcohol professional, who agrees with a dummy like me that the foolproof, by far, I think the winner out of this taste testing, which doesn't always happen that way, but it happened to this time. So yeah, if you're thinking about trying the new benchmark expressions, the regular benchmark is a great mixer at $11 or $12, wherever it is around you. But the top floor and foolproof, I would say without a doubt, even the bottled and bond, all three of those great pickups to even just sip a little bit, pour over ice, mix with anything. You're not going to feel cheated when you pick those ones up. So once again, Buffalo Trace in the value market. These are easy to find, not in Ohio, obviously, not yet at least, but easy to find if you go across the border to Kentucky, your California websites, things like that. Not horrible, not overpriced. Right there for you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this blind taste test. Me and Karl need to finish off the rest of these samples. So like the rest of these videos, I hope this one helps, guys, and have a great night.
Cheers.